Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, we're brothers, we read comics.
Yes, we do. And we're doing our first Valiant comic.
Ooh, finally. 230 episodes in.
And we've talked about Valiant, I feel like, quite a bit.
Yeah, we brought up Quantum and Woody.
We've seen every Valiant movie. Bloodshot.
Surely there's another one that
I don't think there's another one, dude. Hold on, let me look up.
But while you're looking that up, we normally have news. This is a double record day for us, so no news today. We're going to get into the book that we read this week. It was Quantum and Woody. I think probably our favorite Valiant property.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's released is Bloodshot. In development, apparently, is Harbinger, Shadow Man, Faith, Bloodshot 2, Rumors, Exo Manowar, Eternal Warrior. So
sick. So no news. Oh, dude. All right. So you know how Sarah's watching Lost right now?
Yeah.
So there's a kid in that who's like reading a comic. And Sarah's like, what comic is that? And it was like a polar bear that was attacking like Kyle Rayner.
Whoa.
I was like, oh, it's fucking Green Lantern. That's crazy.
Green Lantern book?
Yeah. And
wow. Probably like a Ron Mars Green Lantern book.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
then the dad like takes it and throws it in the fire.
What?
I'm like, that's right.
Fuck that guy. That's crazy.
But yeah, it's the book. I looked it up. It's on Reddit, Lost Reddit. It's a Green Lantern and Flash, Fast Friends, #1.
Is Kyle Rayner that fast? Probably not fast. Not that fast. Does he get attacked by a polar bear?
They become friends very fast, Nathan.
Fast friend. Okay, I see.
Fast friends.
Okay.
Yeah, like not
if
like
he's getting attacked by a polar bear, he's probably not that fast. So,
so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
That's cool. I love when comics are in
stuff
traditional media, and I have to like put on my detective hat, figure out what it is.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things to do.
Sometimes it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, we read Quantum and Woody by Valiant. Volume 1 is The World's Worst Superhero Team.
Yep.
It is written by James Asmus. Artist Tom Fowler. Colors Jordi Belair. Letterer Dave Lamphere.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Sook is doing all these covers.
And he's great.
And he is killing it.
Yeah.
What do we know Ryan Sook from?
He does a lot of covers now, but he was on that Blue and Gold book.
Ah, that's
which
right.
has similar vibes to this. I mean, just buddy cop books, it seems like he's on a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of blue involved.
Yeah. I mean, this one has blue and gold in it too, so maybe he just likes that style.
He only has 2 colors.
He's been on
probably Superman or something.
I think he's on a Daredevil that I've read before.
Okay.
So yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah, I would say he's underutilized.
We read this because I remember reading this just randomly, like when I first started getting into comics, and then I was like, "Oh, Valiant's making I was like reading comics when Valiant was making a comeback, I guess."
Yeah,
so I was like, I'll check out some of these.
It was like a
cool.
90s thing, right? And then they like
it started as like a 90s company. It went out of business, and then some like rich dude bought the rights for it and started it up again, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
And then they went like super hard. They got people like Jeff Lemire to be on it. They got like Robert Venditti to be on. So Jeff Lemire was doing like Bloodshot stuff. Robert Venditti was doing Exo Manowar, I want to say.
Okay.
And so there's also like Harbinger, which was pretty popular for them. Ninjak, stuff like that.
How is this for you on a reread?
It's great. I think it falls apart a little bit at the end, but it's kind of fun.
A little bit.
But I think what's like...
That's just kind of being critical,
Yeah, just me like not really caring about the villain that much, I guess. But from like a character development standpoint, I think this is one of the strongest books for that reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I love a buddy cop.
That's true, but it's also just well done book.
Yeah, it's well done. I mean, it's about brothers and stuff. So like, I have a brother.
Yeah, me too.
Are you Quantum or are you Woody? You're probably Woody, right?
Yeah, I would say so, probably.
Yeah. But like, I think that part's really good. There's some like actually pretty funny jokes in here too.
Yeah, this book's hilarious.
I think it's one of the funniest books we've read.
Probably the funniest book I've read.
Yeah.
Like there are like other comedy books that we've read and whatnot, but this one just
I think they try a little bit too hard,
I don't think so. There's some that fall flat or whatever, but there's not just like, it's more than just like the punchlines,
I'm not saying this book try hard. I'm saying when a comedy book is coming out, they're trying too hard.
Yeah. No,
but this one, it like hits you with like a random joke. Just just thrown in, and it's so funny.
There's like the punchlines, and then just kind of the situation that they're in is like funny as well.
Yeah,
and then there's like family drama tied into all that.
Yeah, and it's
so
like
just a really great like origin kind of book.
I agree.
So,
And so I read like 3 trades into this, and it gets like pretty wild there too, because there's like a goat, involved.
like total, or just like this week you read 3 trades?
No, not it. Total. When I was reading this initially.
Okay. Yeah, I think I went past the first trade too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I really like this. Apparently, I found out it was created by Christopher Priest.
Okay.
I didn't know that about
I know
them.
that he had like a run, but I
Yeah.
didn't know he was the creator.
And he based it off of Heroes for Hire, which, looking at it now, it's pretty obvious.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that guy looks like Danny Rand. He's
Yeah.
like a white guy with blonde hair, and then there's the black guy, Luke Cage, and it's like I didn't pick that up before.
Yeah, I
but
like
it's kind of cool.
the quantum design is really cool because like it doesn't seem like they're trying to do anything, like they weren't trying to incorporate like a Q into it at all, or
Yeah.
something corny like that. It was
Just like a solid design.
like that's just like design this dude and see if this could work.
Yeah, Tom Fowler is really good too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the action visually is very unique. Like the representation of their powers, I think, is kind of cool.
Something I don't ever really notice is like the inking. Like the inking I felt was like super strong in this. And so I guess with like Tom Fowler doing it, he can capture what he was trying to convey.
Yeah, because I think emotion is really important, especially in these earlier issues when they're trying to do like some of these flashback things of like big points in these kids' lives. So
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. So let's just get into it. So with issue 1, it opens with like a news segment showing Quantum and Woody falling to their death, just to kind of open you up. And then a flashback shows that they are brothers, Quantum and Woody. It's at this time they are Eric in Woodrow, otherwise known as Woody. Do you know his name was Woodrow?
Did they say that?
No, I mean, when I was looking up, like when they were created, I think.
So is every Woody a Woodrow?
I don't think so.
Is Woodrow Wilson?
Is Woodrow?
Is Woody Harrelson like a
Is he Woodrow
Harrelson?
Harrelson? I don't think so.
So is like the toy Woody? Is his name Woodrow?
Yeah, they say that in the movie.
They do?
No, I don't know. But so yeah, Eric and Woody, we see a flashback that they are in trouble with the principal's office because there was a bully and they just like had each other's back. They were trying to like help somebody that was getting bullied, and they got into a fight with the bully at school, so their dad had to come pick them up and be like, what the fuck.
Before that, like when they were like on the news or whatever,
yeah,
did you see that they had like the hide your wife dude as like the interview?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot to write a note down about that.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's funny. Love seeing memes.
Yeah,
and so
should be done more memes and comics.
Yeah, exactly. This guy should show up more. And so at the start of the story, because we have sort of the middle of the story and then a flashback, so this is kind of like the start of the story. We see Eric and Woody get the call that their father has died, and the two brothers kind of reunite for the first time after many years at this funeral.
I totally forgot they were brothers.
Yeah. I mean, not by like blood. Woody's adopted.
Yeah, like
which you figure out pretty early on because black father. But
right, there's a joke. He's like, "I'm actually the black sheep of the family."
That's a good joke.
That killed me.
Yeah, but this is what I think is so strong about the book, because the character development in like these first couple pages is so strong. Like what they did in like 5 pages, like we see that as kids they were close at each other's back, but like something happened in between then and now, and like they're separate and they like hate each other. And like we also get a good idea of like both of their personalities, because like Eric's kind of like a military type dude now. Woody's a bit of a, what do you call it? I don't know, a bit of a loser, I guess.
Fuck up,
yeah, a bit of a fuck up. And so them reuniting for the first time, and there's like when they first like talk to each other, they get into a fight like at the funeral, but there's so much like vitriol in what Woody says at like the funeral, because he like blames Eric for not looking out for their dad like well enough because he's dead now.
Yeah.
And it's like shit that would actually cause a fight at a funeral. So like I really believe that,
There's a dude
some
that
drama.
There's a dude that like attacked like their dad at his lab, and he's got like a brand on his face, and it's like the hammer and sickle thing
that goes hard
for like the Russian flag or whatever.
Yeah,
communist Russia. It's not still their flag, right?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I think it's just red and star or something.
I'll look it up.
Russia Rule 34. Okay. Oh no, it's blue. Is it red, white, and blue, or is it just blue and red?
It's white, blue, and red.
Whoa, like us. I think the hammer and sickle flag is like a Communist Party flag.
It was Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in 1923.
Yeah.
Oh, up until 1955. So when it was like the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So, but yeah, that's fun character design. You know.
Yeah, it's just like how do I make a
Russian guy?
Yeah.
So Quantum and Woody are arrested and then questioned about the circumstances of their dad's death, which they pieced together means that he was murdered. It wasn't through like a heart attack or whatever they thought it was. So Woody goes to his dad's work, Quantum Labs, to investigate on his own. He finds Eric also doing the same thing, just kind of independent from him, trying to investigate their dad's death. So they both poke around their dad's old lab and they trigger some sort of reactor explosion.
Did you mention that Woody wasn't even invited to the funeral?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, damn, that's like...
That means to cause a fight for sure, too.
Right, yeah. I'd be pretty pissed.
Or
like the cops had to tell him?
Yeah. Like some cops found him and like had to tell him, which is crazy. I like when Woody's trying to chloroform the guy at like giving him the walk to his lab, but he uses like the wrong like rag, I guess. Like that's a funny joke.
He has 2 rags.
Yeah, he has 2 rags, but you picked the wrong one. I think that's funny. And it's also funny that like before the reactor blows up, they're like fighting over like who should wear the protective suit because there's only one. And then like Eric is like, you should get the suit, Woody. And he's like, you don't have to tell me twice. And he like starts to put it on. Like that's great.
Yeah, and he's just mad that he started to put it on, but while he's talking.
Yeah. And so
real quick.
Yeah.
So they like figured out that this was like a murder.
Yeah.
And I find it weird that like no one told them like the cause of death. You know?
Yeah. I think they assumed it was like some sort of natural causes, but no one really said that, you know? But I think that'd be my first question if my dad died.
Right. Like how?
Yeah.
What happened?
Then
like later we find out that he's murdered.
Yeah. And so they get like, you know, some data from his lab before it blows up, but they survive the explosion, but there's like some weird quantum effect like on their skin and also they're naked.
Yeah, their clothes get burned off or whatever.
Yeah.
I like this the sound effects of like the machine.
It's like whoom, 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 dude, dude, they nailed it. The lettering there is so good.
I like want that like that looks like a brand like that would go on like a clothing line or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm like that goes hard as fuck.
Like if it was just like the last 4 letters on there.
Yeah, dude, that's a
I'm getting that.
We should do the Tradewaiters logo in that font. You know?
Dude, yeah, that's a good font.
Go hard.
I like the coloring of it too. It's Jordi Belair, who's obviously incredible. Like the coloring throughout this book is good because there's like flashback coloring, which we see quite often with her books. But like the like quantum, I don't even know what you call it, but like just the effects of like the lasers or the energy that's coming out of like the reactors, it feels so bright.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. So in issue 2, the cops are surrounding them. They're still naked, but they start like bickering and fighting anyway, which causes Woody to accidentally shoot a blast out of his fists and it explodes a cop car. So they start to run while the cops are distracted. And then we find out Eric has like quantum shielding powers that stop bullets. And I think one of my favorite like tropes just in any entertainment is when they have to like find creative ways to like hide someone's dick when they're naked.
Yeah.
And there's like
gun barrels.
Yeah, the gun barrels are like in this page is very funny. There's also like a little dick touch like joke. They're like trying to figure out what to do and they're like staying a little bit too close. So there's just like a panel where it's implied that they accidentally touched dicks. And so that's good.
When they're like being held at gunpoint, he's like, yeah, this black guy's a Muslim fundamentalist.
He like sells out his brother.
And then he's like, if I get killed, I'm taking you with me. He's like, see, he's suicidal.
He's like, did you hear that? This bomber's suicidal. That's a good one. I like how unique the like the explosions are in this because they have like these weird quantum powers. But like when this cop car first gets exploded, there's like these like rings of energy that are like around it.
Yeah.
So it's like very dynamic. You know, I really like that aspect of it. Just
very
the design
Jimmy
of all. Yeah, it is. And so there's a flashback scene showing the dad angry at Woody for something that he did at school. And Woody like instinctually starts preparing himself to be hit, which is answered with a hug, which is a great one-pager.
Yeah.
Like just that one page, like you see the emotion in Woody and then the dad reacting to that and then it going in for a hug. Like one of the strongest pages in this book.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this artwork is it just like reminds me of Rob Guillory in a way. If he was to do people more proportionate.
Yeah. it
Rob
helps.
Gilliard actually does like a variant,
He
but
does.
it's just of the goat.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, so he like could do one with like the people, and it would look pretty similar.
Yeah, he'd be great on a Quantum and Woody book.
Ooh, he'd body.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like some of the he really leans into his style, and it like helps with like delivering some of the emotion of some of these characters. So
Yeah,
it's really good. But so Eric and Woody find an old recording of their dad addressing Eric and warning them about an evil group called the ERA, and they want to find out more about that. So they go to question their dad's old boss.
real quick. Sorry to go back,
No, you're
but
good.
so Woody, he like accidentally like uses powers just by like pointing at something.
Yeah.
and like blows up a car.
He's got finger blasts.
Yeah, and the sound effect was car boom.
That's good. That's good lettering
I'm
right
like,
there.
That's genius.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's like comedy not just like in the dialogue. It's
Yeah.
in like just like
It's just like
the
comics,
imagery.
comics kind of comedy, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's good.
Something that could only really be pulled off in comics.
So we see their dad's old boss. He's being questioned by two guys named Johnny 1 and Johnny 2, who are clones of each other, I guess. And they're starting to question the head of Quantum Labs. Quantum, Eric, as Quantum with the suit on and everything, breaks in with his costume, and Woody just shows up in a suit. And he's like, I didn't want to do the suit, actually. I know it was my idea, but
He's got like sunglasses on.
he's like, it looks gay. So so that's not what they planned. And we see like kind of this Woody explaining what his plan is, and it's just like he just clearly goes against it right at the last second, which is funny.
Right.
But
I think the cape is kind of like a reference to the old Quantum and Woody comics, because I think he used to have a cape.
Yeah, he did used to have a cape, and then he loses it because I think they just felt like that style was better, maybe.
He doesn't lose it, like he gives it to like a bum.
Yeah, he gives it to somebody, but like it's not in the rest of the book. But,
Did you see that 2017 run when that came out?
Yeah, I have a graded comic for it.
Oh, the number one?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Kibblesmith
Yep.
and
I have
Julian Totino Tedesco.
He does not do the art on it.
Dude, it says in volume 1.
What? That's awesome. I should read it.
You should read this book you
I
have.
should read this book that I have graded and on my wall. Surely it's just covers, right?
It's just Kano.
Yeah,
So,
Kano,
he
Kano's the artist.
He probably did the covers.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is Kano?
Kano,
I like the
I've
new,
seen him in
I
stuff.
like the new title like card that they do.
yeah, that one's cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's any good. 4.8 stars, dude.
No, that's pretty.
That's
That
pretty
was
good.
pretty good, I guess. So they start questioning this like Johnny 1 and Johnny 2 guy, and they start fighting them. But these guys break out their experiment called the Nightmare Brigade, which is like a big monster that comes out of the boss. And this is like a fucked up amalgamation of like, I guess, people's fears, which is like spiders, clowns, and needles. And it is fucking freaky, to be fair.
Yeah.
It is like such a juxtaposition for like what we've seen in this book so far. So for something like this to come out, I'm like, this is crazy, you know? So like Tom Fowler has like a great sense of like horror as well, on top of like his art style.
Yeah.
So issue 3.
Wait. Hold on one second.
Okay.
You're forgetting like one of the funniest lines in this. So he grabs what were the twins?
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny 1. He grabs Johnny 2 and he like holds him out a window and he's like, "Get your hands off me." And he's like, "Really? I think you'd want my hands on you right about now."
And he's holding him over.
He's like,
yeah.
"That sounded different than what I meant."
Yeah. Yeah, he's like holding this like dude, clearly, you know, not very abled, over like the skyscraper edge.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. So issue 3, this is where my favorite joke is, but so they tried fighting the Nightmare Brigade, but they're still like new to this whole superheroing thing, so they're really bad at it. And so Quantum grabs Woody and jumps out the window, and they use like Quantum's shield to break their fall, and they survive.
That's a good use of his powers.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I like that they have like kind of their own uses.
Like they have different powers.
Yeah. So they run from the cops and they hide out at one of Woody's old ex's apartments, I guess. He still has the key. But in the scene, this isn't the joke that I like, but I like that when they fall and they like land on the streets, people are like, "Are you guys superheroes?" And Woody's like, "Yeah, we're superheroes. It's all okay now." And then the cops show up and they just immediately bolt. They like start running away from the cops.
Yeah, he's like trying to like sell the IP of like Quantum and Woody.
Yeah, very Booster Gold of him. And then Eric finds out that Woody impersonated Eric to like get the stuff like the
From his
weapons
work.
and stuff from his work, and he finds out that like Woody did blackface to like impersonate him, and Woody's like, I didn't do blackface, okay, I just used makeup to match the complexion of your skin. I think that's really
He's
funny. Like,
like-
that is crazy.
He's like, blackface is like black, like shoe polish.
Yeah.
And don't you have to sing or something too? Like, it was like,
I was laughing out loud at the scene because it's so insane. He's like, oh, I just like made myself look like you. And
he's
it's like,
like-
that is so bad.
all I did was change my skin color. By your definition, tanning is racist.
That's such a funny idea.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, how does he get in there? Oh, he just looks like Eric.
So yeah, that was like something that was just pulled off like so well.
It was like, it doesn't feel like it feels like such a good joke. You
Like
know?
this is like a 2013 run, you
Yeah.
know, which is like something that you'd be able to pull that off, but I feel like it still like holds up.
Yeah, this
you know?
joke holds up the way that they did it. Like, I feel like most writers in 2013 would make like a blackface joke, and it's not as like tasteful as this one is almost. You know?
Right, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about blackface jokes as like two white guys, so maybe we're off the mark there. But I feel like this one was like really funny.
Have you seen any other comics from the Asmus guy?
Yes, he did an X-Men book. I want to say
Is it James Asmus?
James Asmus. No, what did he do? Was it Inhumans?
It's just like writing comedy in comics is
So
so hard with like timing and everything,
Yeah.
and it's just like super impressive.
Like, I've read other books from him, but I remember not being super crazy about all of them.
Thief of Thieves, I guess he did. He did some Gambit and Rick and Morty, so that's good.
Yeah, I read that Gambit run. I have it.
He's done like some X-Men stuff, like issues here and there. Gambit 1 through 17. Is that good? Pencils by Clay Mann. Dang.
Yeah, he had Clayman before Tom King got his ass.
Whoa.
And killed him. You know, there was like, I want to say it was like Inhumans.
All new Inhumans.
Yeah, I was really excited to
Stefano
read that
Caselli.
one. Yes. I was really excited to read that because it was like one of the first times I recognized someone's name. And I'm like, oh, I really liked his Quantum and Woody.
Oh, he did a couple Quantum Woody runs.
He did a Kong book.
Oh, nice. But like, surely there wasn't any other books that would need like that comedic voice of his.
This is a very specific kind of comedic like tone, I guess.
Oh, dude, he did Transformers: My Little Pony.
Whoa.
Friendship in Disguise.
Yes, dude, we have to read that.
Art
Is there
by
a tra-
Tony Fleeks, dude.
Dude, is there a trade out?
I'll find it.
Oh my God, please.
Oh, and then he did a sequel to that.
Let's go. It's good enough to have a sequel.
That's fucking lit. I was trying to figure out like, because like next year I want to try and do like all
Themed?
theme months,
That'd be awesome.
which I think would be lit.
Yeah.
There's only a couple things coming out so far, but like the crossover month,
That would go hard.
go so hard.
Mm-hmm.
We might do that in January. We'll see.
I'm down for that. That sounds fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so they start like fighting in this apartment that they're hiding out in over like who their dad like loved more, and it breaks out into like a battle with powers, and they destroy the whole apartment. Eric leaves Woody there, and Eric decides, I'm gonna go find out who these ERA guys are, because he planted a GPS on Johnny 2, so he's just gonna go wherever they went. And then Woody gets captured by the ERA, thinking that it was like some massage person, I guess. And then we see, to end the issue, a flashback to Eric finding something called the Anarchist Cookbook that Woody had, and I guess he fucks with it, and it causes the lab that he's in to explode as like a child. And like, I don't get this part like that much. Like, he finds a book and then like the lab explodes. Presumably he made it, you know, whatever.
He was just trying to like get at his dad.
Yeah,
You know, for
probably.
giving Woody more attention.
Yeah.
And then it ends up being like a much bigger explosion than he anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
But like, why would Woody have that? Because he's just like a bad boy. He's like, oh, let me find this
Yeah.
like chemistry book, you know?
yeah.
So we find out the ERA stands for Edison's Radical Acquisitions.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting name. I mean, there's a reason for it. And I'm not like super crazy about the feel of like an evil, you know, scientist group, the way that they do it here. There's like just a lot kind of going on, I feel like.
I think it's kind of interesting.
It is interesting, like evil organization like that just exists to try and do like weird fucked up science.
Yeah. So
Experiments.
Thomas Edison would like buy like the patents for weird science shit that would like change the world or whatever. And
Yeah.
like evil stuff.
You try and like profit off of it.
Right.
But one of the little details I noticed is that their soldiers, there's like the soldiers that are in like red suits and stuff, they're all bald and like have lipstick on, and it's because they're clones of like the head lady named Crone,
right,
who was known for doing like cloning stuff. She never said that like, you know, I cloned all of my soldiers or whatever, but it's kind of cool that that's like a feature of like their army.
And she's like obsessed with like staying young or whatever, and so she'll take body parts from her clones and just like replace them to keep her young.
Yeah,
which I think is lit. As
I
like
think
a
that's
villain.
cool. That's, it's kind of like a Ship of Theseus type thing,
whatever that is.
You know, the thing where it's like, if you replace every board of a ship, is it still the same ship?
I'm sure if as long as she doesn't like replace her brain, then she's the same person.
Yeah, I would agree. But
that's like cool because she like puts on like new skin and stuff.
Yeah,
and she looks very fucked up.
Yeah, there's some like foreshadowing of that too in this issue, because she's kind of like putting her face on like actual skin.
Yeah, she's going through like surgery.
And you can
in the earlier page,
you can see like the back half of her head does not have like the same young skin, so it's kind of like the High Evolutionary from Guardians.
Gross.
It's very gross. But I like that concept. It's kind of cool. And so they have Woody captured now.
Yeah, and like the detective that was like looking for them for like their dad's murder is one of the clones.
Is a clone.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like Crone, but she's a clone.
I was like seeing her, but I didn't like make that connection that she like continued to help and was in this.
Mm-hmm. So then in issue 4, in a flashback, we see Eric recover from the lab explosion, and this is what caused Woody to disappear for most of Eric's life. Like, I guess he left so that like Eric wouldn't get in trouble for whatever was going on.
Yeah, and he like blamed the explosion like on himself.
Yeah. And so Quantum, in the present, he makes his way into the ERA like island facility. Again, we find out the ERA was built from Thomas Edison's philosophy of buying out science patents to use under his own name, and then he eventually created a group of mad scientists that would do stuff for profit. And then
it's kind of like that group in 52 where it was like all like the evil scientists that were like trying to find a way to stop
an island.
Yeah,
right? They were on an island, Epstein's island.
Yo, they just ripped from 52.
Dude,
and 52 ripped from this.
What came out first?
Probably 52. That was like 2012, right, or 2011?
I don't know,
because that was before the New 52 happened.
I don't know when the New 52 happened.
Anyway,
we caught the end of it. I don't know. I'm not gonna do the math, but yeah. And then Crone is the leader. She's the one that invented cloning as a concept, and she does like organic replacements, which is cool. So Quantum,
no, 52 came out in 2006.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because there's 52 and then some stuff, and then Flashpoint, and then that's when.
And then the New 52 started in 2011.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, they ripped off the Science Island. So Quantum sees Woody being held hostage, and so he creates a distraction by letting out one of their like experiments, which is just like a big monster. And then one of them is just a regular goat, except he's not a regular goat, Daniel, because he can fly and he has laser eyes, and creates like this huge distraction for everybody.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of goat action in this.
Yeah, goat action's in the later trades, which is one of my favorite parts, actually.
Right.
They name him Vincent Van Goat, which is such a good name.
Great name.
I want a goat just to name him that, you know?
Maybe when you buy your ranch someday.
When I buy my ranch. Yeah, that's in the plans.
You can name the chicken Pollo and stuff like that.
Dude, oh my God. That's such a good idea.
Or the roosters.
The roosters. Yeah. Oh, I guess he's a rooster, huh?
Yeah.
Why do they call him Pollo?
It's funny.
That is funny, huh?
I don't know what a rooster is in Spanish.
Get some frogs, name him Chog.
There you go. But you don't like frogs.
I don't. They're scary. And so the distraction of the goat flying around is enough for Quantum to pull Woody out of whatever contraption he's in, and then they clang their bracelets and are good to go.
Rooster is gallo in Spanish. Gallo.
I should reread too.
I don't want to reread like Invincible.
I want to read Invincible as well.
Bonus steps?
Dude, that'd be kind of good.
Patreon?
A Patreon where we like read through a long series would be cool.
Yeah.
But
like the OG Batman books. We start at number 1. We start at Detective Comics 27.
Wow. And then a new issue every week.
Yeah.
There's podcasts like that. Like there's one for Spider-Man.
There's one for Watchmen where there's an episode on every page.
I know. I told you. I told you about that one.
I listened to it, and it's a little hard to listen to without like the page right in front of you.
Yeah, they should make like the picture for that episode or like the thumbnail or whatever, the page that they're talking about maybe, but
yeah,
whatever. So I like that when Quantum saves Woody, Woody still doesn't thank him. like for what he did.
Yeah.
He's just like took you long enough type thing. And then there's like some foreshadowing here, like when it's the idea is that they have to like touch their bracelets together, or else they'll just like fizzle out, like their protons just like leave and they like disintegrate pretty much.
Yeah.
But they never define that in this trade. They just happen to clang bracelets enough for it to not be a problem.
They bring it up.
Do they?
Yeah.
They're like,
it's
I feel better when I clang bracelets with you.
Yeah, they got. Well, I don't know if they say that verbatim, but like they make it as if like they have to stick together, or else like they'll like.
Yeah,
die.
I guess that's true. Yeah,
they say it like towards the end.
They define it as like every 24 hours later, which I think is a fun concept. But so they go to fight Crone. They knock her off her like life support chair thing. Woody saves Eric from a surprise like tendril thing that's about to hit Eric, but it hits Crone instead of them, which is good. And then Crone just like withers away now that she's off of her life support chair, and she's feeling the age of like a century of being alive pretty much. So she just like withers away. She gets like Thanos snapped is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brothers make a getaway on a boat, and they brought the goat with them, which is cool. And then Woody explains that he disappeared as a child so Eric wouldn't get in trouble for the explosion caused by Woody's bomb book thing.
Yeah.
And then that's the happy ending. They get away.
So they get away, and like the detective that's the clone is with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I won't pursue you guys as like suspects as long as you guys don't tell like the department that I'm like technically illegal. And then Woody's like, because you're Mexican.
That joke is good.
He's like, no, because I'm a clone, jackass.
Because you're Mexican. That's a funny joke.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So the old lady, she like brings up that like Derek like killed himself, like the dad.
Yeah.
And then he took like some pill to like melt his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that?
I didn't say that, but yeah, that was a detail.
Yeah, and then I guess like the big Russian dude or Russian woman apparently.
Mm-hmm. I didn't catch that, but
they just she was like genetically altered except for the important bits is what they said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He like broke his neck so that like it wouldn't fizzle his brain because they're trying to extract the info from his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can do that post-mortem.
Yeah, which is such a wild detail to throw in there.
Yeah.
But kind of a cool concept. Like that's like stopping the drug from getting into his brain by snapping his neck is crazy.
Did you mention? Yeah, that's smart actually.
Yeah. That's quick thinking. I wouldn't have thought of that. I'd be like, oh, wow, we're fucked.
I think we're fucked actually. Did you mention like why he was like killing himself and what the evil people wanted from him?
I didn't, but basically he had like some pretty good research that they wanted, and he didn't want them to potentially access like infinite energy.
Yeah, some new energy source that he was able to find.
Yeah, and that's like really effective, and so he knows that he had like a target on his back for these findings, and so he killed himself, and then he tried to scramble his brain so they couldn't extract it.
Right.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
But that's the start for Quantum and Woody. It's got a couple of trades after that, which I really recommend.
Yeah, there's 12 issues total in this run. So,
I think so, yeah.
So about 3 trades, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quick read, very fun. Again, I think just like the dynamic of those two brothers is very entertaining to me. Like,
oh yeah,
it's very rare when my favorite parts about a book are like not the action, but like the drama and like some of the way that they like play off of each other. But it's so natural in this book that it makes it just fun to read them like bicker.
Definitely.
So let's go into Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters.
So covers. Hella covers. There's a Marcos Martin one, which is pretty cool. A Tom Fowler one of the goat, which I like. There's an early Valerio Sheedy. Some Tom Fowler ones, and then we also...
His Ryan Hughes one's cool.
Yeah, I like the Ryan Hughes one.
Like the patches or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And then we have like a pixel variant. It looks like a version of like Legend of Zelda, like the original game.
Yeah, like
that's what it looked like.
8-bit variant is what they call it.
Yeah.
Donovan Santiago.
Yep. And then we have the Rob Guillory variant.
The goat himself.
The goat.
Sure, and then that was neat.
We have some line art by Tom Fowler, which is cool. And then they have like a series of 8 or like 6 to 8-ish. I can't remember how many like one-pagers, which were promo for this book starting when like Valiant was like kicking up again.
Yeah, there must have been some sort of like solicitations with like one pagers.
Yeah.
Did you read these?
I read them. Yeah. Not all of them are super great, I would say, but there's one where they like go to like a Comic-Con and they're like playing as themselves, and there's like some guys in suits and they're like, oh, Woody cosplayers, but they're just like guys in suits.
Yeah.
And that they kind of like comment on like how Comic-Cons aren't really for comics anymore and stuff like that. So they make all those jokes, but
Yeah. I think I've read these before, but
yeah. So I read them. It's pretty fun. I think I like that. I like seeing like comic book marketing, being done in different ways, because it's kind of interesting.
Because like we would never see these if they didn't throw these in the back of the trade.
Yeah.
Which
and
is like cool to have.
I feel like when I find out about a book, unless it's somebody that I recognize as like a writer or creator, I'll find out about a book through like Twitter or something, which probably wasn't as big in like 2013, for like at least marketing comic books and that reason. So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting to see what like the different ways of doing it were.
And even like not a lot of shit even comes up on Twitter, as far as like it has to be like pretty crazy for it to like break through onto like your For You page or whatever.
Yeah, which is terrible now.
Yeah,
by the way. And
now they show the variant collections of like all the stuff in Valiant, and I'm like, damn, they got a lot of shit actually.
Yeah, they got some good stuff. I even like their event that they did.
Harbinger Wars?
No, fuck, what was it called?
You talking about like Deity?
Yes, I think so. It was like a line-wide event.
Something like that.
Oh fuck, I gotta look it up now. Oh, it was just called Valiant, I think.
Oh, okay. They even got like the Volume 2 promotion
of this book.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think when they have like the cover
they have the
done.
cover for it already. Yeah, it seems interesting. Or maybe this is like a reprint of
There's
it.
even like a little, or maybe probably in the reprint. But
I never read a Harbinger, so I wonder if that's any good. I know people like it.
I think I would want to go to like Bloodshot first, and then like Exo Manowar first.
Dude, Parker loves Ninjak actually.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So if I mention Ninjak to him tonight, he'll like.
Yeah, whatever he wants to go. I'm sure like whatever he wants is something that we wouldn't like really choose to read.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if we did, we'd be like, Parker should come on for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you rate this book, Nathan?
Oh man, this is a gotta have it for me.
It's gotta have it.
I mean, it's not like a perfect like book, but I think it's just like it's so strong in areas that I feel like comics now don't really have. So I sound like a boomer saying that. I guess this is a decade old.
They don't make comics like this anymore.
This is a decade old actually, which is kind of crazy.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Over a decade old. So
yeah, that's a couple years old,
So gotta have it, what's some blue and yellow ice cream that this could be.
I do the birthday cake remix,
Ooh.
which is a Cold Stone Creamery signature creation, which has got lots of colors.
I would probably rate this like it would have to be like an ice cream that's kind of like.
Does Apple make ice cream now?
It'd have to be an ice cream that's like kind of underrated. I feel like, because this book is like wildly underrated to me. Like no one ever really talks Quantum and Woody.
And like it's like if you know kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then if they do know, you're like, this guy fucking rules.
Yeah, like a red velvet ice cream or some shit. That's like really good. Or
a what?
Like a red velvet ice cream. You ever had those?
Yeah, I love red velvet. So
yeah,
I never really go for red velvet ice cream, so I'd have to try that actually.
Yeah,
but hell yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
for
good
sure.
shit.
And well, let's go into the poll list. Colin,
shove it in your box.
The poll list. What did you shove in your box?
What's this week?
We got Ultimate Spider-Man number 8.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch up on that on the plane.
World's Finest number 30.
Dan Moore's off of it now. I am subscribed to it, so I need to unsubscribe. So I'll pick up one issue.
Surely it's got to be almost done, right?
I think they're gonna keep it going.
Really?
Yeah, just not with Wade and Mora, I don't think. So I'll give it a shot. It'll be like picking up a number 1, but I don't pick up a whole lot of comics right now that are like past 12 issues.
Yeah.
So it might be good to have. I don't know.
You're the reason they don't have long ongoing books anymore,
Dude,
Nathan.
they're not even making good long ongoing stuff.
Because people aren't buying them. Like you.
Just get Dan Mora on it. I'll buy it.
Green Lantern War Journal number 12.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to catch up on that too.
We got Wolverine Revenge number 1.
Is it the Greg Puyo one?
It is.
We're going to be gone?
We're going to be
coming
gone.
Back?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, I'm so excited for that.
It'll be, so we'll be back the day after that comes out, but it'll be late, I think.
That's not bad.
So it should be good. We have Get Fury number 4. Need to start that.
I dropped off of that.
Jenny Sparks, that Tom King book about like the character and the Authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be coming out.
We'll see.
Give that a go.
Who's on the art for that? Do we know?
I'll look it up. Hold up. I just said I would look it up. Why would you look it up?
I want to look it up faster.
Jeff Spokes. I said it first.
Yeah, you did. You got there first.
Jeff Spokes. And apparently there's a Predator versus Black Panther book.
That's such a great idea. I want to say we talked about it because that doesn't sound.
I feel like that's like two
but I forgot.
characters that like have tools. You know?
Yeah.
I guess now that I think of it, I don't know what tools Black Panther has, but I feel like he's got shit.
He's got like armor on his suit
and ship and stuff. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe he's got technology.
Maybe
his
shit can go invisible or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
So that's a great idea. So I like that one.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, so that's what will be coming out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Last night I saw a movie called Cuckoo.
Oh, is that good?
It's okay.
Okay.
I sent it to Rena to see if she wanted to see it because it's like horror-esque or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, it doesn't look good.
I thought it looked interesting. I like Hunter Schafer as like an actor.
Yeah,
actress.
me too. She killed it.
She's great. Yeah.
That was a good part of it. Dan Stevens is in it as well.
Yeah, he's great too.
He was cool. He had a funny little German accent.
He's good at accents.
Yeah, no, he was good there. I have like no idea what was going on for most of it. It was like I was like
cool.
Like the plot was going and I was like right behind it. Like as far as following what was going on. And I don't necessarily have any questions at the end, but it's just kind of bizarre.
Mm-hmm. And
it was one of those things where it's like kind of a thriller-esque where you're like figuring out what's going on at the same pace as like the main character.
Mm-hmm.
The vibes were really cool in like the first half. That was like my favorite part, which is like a lot of the trailer stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like this girl who moves to this the German Alps or something, and there's like a hotel that's there.
It's actually in Germany?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's cool. So she works at a concession thing, a receptionist stand for the hotel.
Yep.
And she's not supposed to be out at like dark. And so she covers for like a friend, and her only way home is like a bike. And so Dan Stevens is like, don't like ride your bike home. And she only works like during the day. But one day she just like rides like her bike home, but she like falls asleep on like her shift and the lights are still on like past when she's supposed to be open.
Yeah.
And Dan Stevens, his like house, he can see like the hotel from his like little house. And he's like, why are the lights still on? And like, he's like, her name is like Gretchen. He's like, Gretchen, why are you still there? Like, lock all the doors right now. I'm coming to get you or whatever. And
why is he so worried?
Yeah, why is he so worried? And so it's like just that bit where she's like somewhere where she's not supposed to be, and she's supposed to lock all the doors and stuff. And normally hotels are just open, like the reception desk is like 24/7, but that one closes at 10 p.m. for
that sucks
for like a reason. And so I was kind of hoping it was just a lot of that, just like multiple shifts overnight or whatever, and then like she just kind of figures things out from there. But that was the only scene of that.
Interesting. I saw that scene in like the previews.
Yeah. The third act was like kind of off. Like it just didn't feel like the whole thing like paid off. But overall it was like pretty cool. Like Dom and Sarah went with me. Neither of them like hated it or anything. So it's the trailer did a good job as far as like piquing interest. You know.
Yeah.
It was a neon movie, so I like to kind of support them because they're doing like weird shit.
Yeah, becoming new A24. It seems like
they're trying.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Long Legs got people, right?
Is that neon?
I think it's neon.
Maybe. But yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was bouncing between like 3 and 7. There were like some good ideas in there and some weird stuff. And the guy who wrote this, I'm like, you're a weird fucker, dude. Like, and so it was. So spoilers for that. I'll just kind of talk about what it was. So Dan Stevens is the bad guy.
Whoa.
The German guy. Can you believe it? So he's like,
what's in Germany?
Yeah.
So there's probably multiple German guys, but
I think he's the only German guy. Whoa. But anyway, he's like breeding these people that are like, he thinks like the next stage in like human evolution or whatever. But they're kind of more of like a defect in a way. These people that are just very like rabid and like cannibalistic almost. And they have this like scream that is like paralyzing to people. And it had this thing to where like people were like almost like going back in time like a couple seconds and just kind of reliving the same moment. But like if you like have headphones on or whatever, like it doesn't affect you.
Okay.
And it turns out that the honeymoon suite at this hotel was like where they're breeding people, and these cannibal people, these like little monster or whatever, they would like take their eggs and like paralyze the women that were in those honeymoon suites, and then like the husbands or whatever in the honeymoon suites would like fertilize those eggs, creating these creatures.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? And Hunter Schafer moves to that city or that town because like her parents, it's like her dad and her stepdad or her stepmom are like building a new resort there. They're like architects or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I guess like her half sister turned out to be one of those children
that was created from like the experience. Wow.
Right. And so, and then for her half sister to be like cannibalistic, the original mother has to like meet with her or whatever, like they like touch or something, and then she becomes like crazy like that. And so,
what a weird concept.
Yeah. So Hunter Schafer is like basically just kind of figures all this out, and then just protecting like the half sister the whole time. And there's like a detective that's there who's trying to figure out what's happening too, because his wife died being like paralyzed by that scream, but she like started vomiting and was like choked on her vomit and like died. And so he had this like vendetta trying to figure out what happened. And that's basically it. And so at the end I was just like, this is fucking weird, you know? I almost wanted to be like an unexplained monster in a way, but yeah, it was like interesting and original, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's always good.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then
it seemed like an interesting movie. So
yeah. And I watched Beetlejuice, Nathan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's not a fucked up movie in parts.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Yeah.
The vibes were pretty cool. Like
vibes are great.
Sets are crazy. Mm-hmm. The world building is like pretty kick-ass. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you thought about it critically, like a lot of it doesn't make sense, but I was just like, yeah, whatever.
It doesn't, but yeah, if you're rolling with the punches, isn't it weird to see like that young of an Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
He's always been like at youngest the Cat in the Hat guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so to see
he's
him
still
in this,
like overweight, and he had like the corset thing that he wore.
I think of Alec Baldwin when he's like picking at his belly button in that movie.
Sarah's like, I've never seen Alec Baldwin so young. I'm like, yeah, I know. She's like, I know he was like such a stud. I'm like, a stud?
He kind of was a stud.
He's like a handsome man, but I couldn't think of like a different word to describe him.
Yeah.
The plot of this was like better than I thought. I thought it was just Beetlejuice terrorizing a family on accident when he like accidentally got released. But
yeah, there's some a little bit more depth to it, which is cool.
There is like a quote that Winona Ryder said that is obviously like the Hot Topic t-shirt quote, where like, because she's the only one that could see the ghosts. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, you guys are strange and unusual, but I guess I'm also strange and unusual. And she's like looking off in the distance. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh my god, this is meant to sell t-shirts.
That's funny.
And it's weird because like the third act feels like it's like 5 minutes, because like Winona Ryder's like, oh, the only way to stop what these humans are doing is to bring out Beetlejuice, and then Beetlejuice, while he's out, he's like trying to marry her, and then like before you know it, like it ends, you know. And I'm like, this is fucking moving fast.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a 90-minute movie, so it's like, I get it, but
yeah, I've always, before I watched it for the first time like last year, Halloween time.
Yeah,
and I would always see that like weird stretched face monster thing at like Spirit Halloween and think like, that's fucked up looking.
Yeah, it is.
But I would see it all the time.
It's even more fucked up when you realize it's just the ghosts like altering their faces.
Yeah.
You know, not something like born that way.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's all practical effects too, which was cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
Even like that dune worm thing that would come out.
That's like just some weird purgatory thing for ghosts if they try to leave their house.
That shit's crazy. Michael Keaton's great as Beetlejuice.
Bodied this.
He is so good.
I don't even know where he got this like coked up person.
Dude, I don't. Yeah, he looks like a coked up person.
Yeah,
so.
I thought he was gonna be like more of like a problem in this. It's really like he comes out like a little, and then he's just there at the end.
It is interesting. Yeah, you'd think it'd just be him like fucking around and messing things up the whole time, but it's not. That's not really the case.
Right.
So
I'm excited to see how they like bring him back and kind of make that make sense, because he's like, he dies because he's eaten by that worm thing.
Yeah.
So just him brought back and like whatever plot they pieced together.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if they pulled it off because it looks good. So I wonder if they'll actually like stick the landing.
Yeah, I feel like it could work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sophie's really excited to see it. She's a big Beetlejuice person, which is strange to me.
Yeah, it was strange.
Just like it's just the most random movie. She'd be like, I fucking love that movie.
Sarah is like, oh yeah, I like that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess it's something like her dad showed her, and so I get why people like it. And
yeah, I get it too. I think it's made well.
it's weird to see a movie that like you feel like you could have watched as a kid, you know, and like it would be just totally normal.
Yeah, it's true. One time I was like at Walmart during like October.
Yeah,
And they had you know how they have like a Halloween section and it's like you get some costumes or some props or whatever?
Yeah.
They had a TV that was playing Beetlejuice and it was like during one of the weird parts and I was sitting there like watching it and I'm like, this is crazy. This is like playing at Walmart.
that they'd have any kind of promo
the
shit.
fact that they had any movie playing, I was like, this is weird. And then they were playing Beetlejuice, which I think is kind of fucked up if you're a little kid and you see that thing. So
it reminds me of like just like a Blockbuster or something that have like TV in the corner just playing
that's
movies.
such good vibes.
Yeah.
I love
Walmart's going for vibes.
I love walking into a place and they're playing a movie.
Spirit should be doing that. You
They
know?
should be.
I used to go to this barber that had like a TV and they just play random movies on Netflix, and they played like Final Destination like 4 or something.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is a weird thing to be watching, like people getting murdered while I'm just trying to get like a haircut.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if I was like,
What if there's a barber scene?
what if I was deathly scared of like horror
Blade.
movies?
Yeah.
You know, and they just put this on. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be okay with this. There's like some kid was there, and I'm like, should he be watching this?
Yeah. Dude, at my barber, they play fucking chive. So it's just brain rot the whole time.
Really? Oh, my gym does that, and it's hard to stay focused.
Yeah, my gym does that too.
EOS, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
anyway, Nathan, what are we gonna read next week? What are we gonna read next week?
Do we know?
So
Do we have something?
a lot of stuff comes out in like October and also like late September. So in order to have our October month stick to just horror stuff, I'm like pushing everything to
Sure.
September.
Yeah, what's coming out in October?
And there's like the Penguin show that's coming out.
Okay.
If you want to do like a Penguin book, there is like
There's a Tom King
the
one.
Tom King one, which is like the only one I could think
Is
of.
that collected?
Yeah, there's like a first trade. I think it's like,
I might be into that.
yeah, if you're open to that, we don't have to do a Penguin book. We can just kind of do whatever if you want. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. I feel like you'd do a good Penguin book. I think it's like the first like
I think people are saying it's good.
issues.
It's 12 in total.
The total run.
Yeah.
The first trade isn't that
No.
long, surely.
The Prodigal Bird.
Yeah. How long is that?
Chip Zdarsky's on that too?
He probably did like a cover.
Yeah.
So that's like 200 pages.
200 pages.
0 to 7.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you want to look for any other Penguin stuff?
I know Jason Aaron did like a Penguin one shot. There's a Danny DeVito written Penguin book.
Really?
It's a one shot though.
There's Batman Arkham Penguin, which is like a ton of shit, I think. Penguin,
Wait.
Pain and Prejudice.
Isn't there like a Penguin origin thing when they were doing those like villain origin books?
The One Bad Day?
Yeah, One Bad Day.
That's like a one shot.
No, it's not. It's like a graphic novel.
But aren't those like 80 pages? Yeah, 87 pages.
Giuseppe Camuncoli's on it. Seems pretty good.
John Ridley.
Oh yeah, 87 pages.
There's Penguin, Pain and Prejudice. Greg Hurwitz. Painful and Dark Pasts.
Oh, I think this one's anthology
142 pages.
because it has the Jason Aaron one, and I know that one's just a one shot.
It's just like a bunch of...
Yeah, let's do the Tom King one. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Fairly recent too,
Yeah.
so that's cool. Dude, I'm so excited for the Penguin show. After rewatching the Batman movie, I'm like, this guy fucking kills it, dude. He's insane.
Yeah, you're hype.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sounds good. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. A bit of a shorter one,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Let us shoot us an email, tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
What's your favorite Valiant book?
Favorite Valiant book?
What
Which one
should we
read
What
next?
Valiant book should we read next?
Should we do all of them?
Valiant Month?
Valiant Month, Harbinger Wars, fucking Archer and Armstrong,
Yeah.
all those weird ones.
Faith.
What was the Shadow Man?
Secret Weapons?
We're just gonna keep going back and forth. What's that one?
Deity
Bloodshot
or Unity.
Bloodshot Reborn. Unity.
Yeah, Unity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the crossover?
I think that's the crossover one.
Maybe. Anyway, Linktree in the bio. Like, comment, subscribe, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And goodbye.
Bye.